Hello. Today I am going to discuss the second short assignment, totally on time. I'm going to be doing prompt number 4, and that is examining two sources from the section of the course that and coming to the conclusion on whether or not we ought to conclude if nature is good or not. And I'm going to argue that nature is neither good nor evil. So you could say I'm arguing that nature is not good, but not necessarily that it's bad. And my justification is in both, well, this is from Into the Wild and Walden's writing. And I'm arguing that nature does not give a damn about you, and nature cannot give a damn about you. So therefore, nature cannot be good or evil, because it is beyond such concepts, beyond such concepts. The only thing that would pertain to it being good or evil are relative to what humans do, us, to it. It is like a machine. We put something in it, and depending on what we put into it, results in what we get out to it. A strong metaphor for this would be relating nature to a gun. A gun in itself is neither good nor evil. It merely is. It just exists. But depending on what the user or the puts into the gun, i.e., how they act with such a weapon, depends on the outcome of the action. The action will be good or evil, not the gun. So, shoot an innocent bystander out of rage or spite for no reason, that you've committed an evil act. The gun has done nothing, but you have. If you use it as a deterrent for a thief, then the gun has done something good. The same logic applies to nature, and this can be seen in the two readings or the end movie. So, in the first one I'm going to talk about is Into the Wild, and is the story about college kid Christopher decides to give up all his earthly belongings and head into nature and break free from the grasp of society. And he has a quote I'm going to read that sums up what nature is, or this idea, fairly well. He says, the sea's only gifts are harsh blows and the occasional chance to feel strong. Now, I don't know much about the sea, but I do know that's the way it is here. And I also know how important it is in your life not to necessarily be strong, but to feel strong. To measure yourself at least once. To find yourself at least once in the most ancient of human conditions, facing the blind deaf stone alone with nothing to help you but your hands and your own head. So, this quote can be interpreted and understood that nature only has to offer you is danger, like a weapon is dangerous, or the occasional chance to feel powerful, i.e., defending your family from an armed intruder. Feel powerful. But it is more than that. You can find, like Christopher did, self-actualization, come to some profound meanings about your life, society, and how you want to proceed and live. Like he does. There's another quote that he finds. So many people live within unhappy circumstances and yet will not take the initiative to change their situation because they are conditioned to a life of security, conformity, and conservation, all of which may appear to be peace of mind, but in reality is more damaging to the adventurous spirit. So here Chris has gone into nature, the Alaskan wilderness, and has come to some pretty profound realizations. He's having these philosophic thoughts in society, these ideas that he wasn't able to have when surrounded by people in the noise of society, and he's getting something out of it. He's using the force of nature for something positive. But he also dies by the very force that he finds this wisdom in. So we see here that nature doesn't give a damn about him. It's just existing and going about. He eats some berries. The berries are neither good or evil, and he perishes. Furthermore, in Walden, this is kind of seen as he's living in experiencing a safer, so to speak, version of nature than Christopher and Into the Wild. But nevertheless, he is still somewhat removed from society. and he is himself gaining insight and believes in wisdom from being in the solitude outside of society, the hustle and bustle and the noise of everyday life, where he's able to come to some profound conclusions about how he views life and how he believes others should view life. But he also is more careful, and so you say he's just closer to society. So he's not necessarily in a position in which nature can harm him in the way Chris did. But nature, it doesn't mean to do any of this. It just is. It's there. It's making no conscious choice, no effort to good or evil. It is not presenting these conclusions that people are finding themselves. As a gun doesn't just shoot on its own accord and kill. It is as a result of the person, the human. Now, an objection to this idea is that humans are a part of nature. We come from nature. We are a part of it. We live in nature to a degree, depending on what you define nature as. But since we are a part of nature and we have concepts such as good and evil, and we can do good acts or bad acts, therefore nature can do good acts and bad acts because we are a part of nature, i.e., nature does it because we are a product of it. And my objection to this idea is that we aren't. That's wrong. Humans are, in my belief, an abstraction from nature. We have not necessarily ascended it. Well, I say ascended it to a degree, as we no longer live in just a purely naturalistic setting, and we have concepts and conformities and amenities that are not found in nature. We are kind of an abstraction from nature. So I would say that humans, we come from nature, we birthed from nature, but as of right now, we are not living in a naturalistic setting such as found in the reading in the book, in the movie. A metaphor or an idea for this would be if a mother had a child and that child went on to be a killer, the mother would not be branded as a killer. That would be a false equivalency. As the mother did not kill anybody, it merely produced something that killed people. So there is my ideas on the idea of nature being good or evil from the readings. And